Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to the Black Mirror. So, we either accidentally snuck in and broke the game and got into this church, or time had just moved forward enough that we were supposed to get into the church. I'm leaning towards time had moved forward enough that we could do it. And so now we can talk to this preacher, get some information. I think we're moving towards the third act. I think we're going to get under the church and start to see some more of the mystery that is in this game. Honestly, not very much horror.
Father, I'd like to talk with you about...
Yeah, I don't think this is really a scary game at this point.
What is it that bothers you, Mason?
I know he came here often.
If it was supposed to be a psychological horror, the story is just so badly written.
Regularly to relieve their souls.
But I also know he came here at night. Can you tell me about that?
Well, since it is you, I guess that I can. He kept asking me to let him into the old belfry. He was very insistent, and in the end, I fulfilled his wish.
Have you any idea what he was looking for in there?
I have not. He wanted to be alone, and I respected that.
So he's looking for the 4 keys, according to his journal.
And then left exhausted. I really do not know anything more.
Let's ask about the church.
I've heard they used to execute heretics in the attic here a long time ago.
According to the chronicles, the trials would have taken place exactly above where we are standing now.
A strange place to build a church, don't you think?
It was Marcus Gordon, your ancestor, who had the church built. He wanted to at least partially atone for the sins and injustice that occurred here. I believe he chose the right path.
Have a look at this, Father. Have you any idea as to what it could be?
I'm afraid I haven't.
That's useless.
Very old, I would say. Other than that, I'm sorry. I really have no clue.
So, we have this object that we've assembled from 3 different parts, and we still don't know what it's for.
Tell me, Father, what do you know about Marcus Gordon?
He was a great man of his time. The exact opposite of his older brother. Mordred was a cruel antichrist. He would torture and abuse the innocent in mock trials. Thank God he didn't rule for long. Marcus convinced the peasants to rise in revolt, and they succeeded in overthrowing his reign. You can be proud to be of his blood, my son.
It'd be interesting if you could actually go to confession. I don't think I've ever seen in a video game where you actually went to confession and actually confessed something. Now, there was a point-and-click adventure game called Hector where you got in a confession booth and it turned out to be a secret elevator. But, no. Just as a thing you can do that doesn't really accomplish anything, I've never seen it done. Probably because nobody really enjoys confession and nobody really wants to do it.
May I make a confession?
Of course. Would you like to do so now?
No, I meant later.
Such things should not be put off. Believe me.
I'll come back later. I promise.
Now the game is telling us to come back later again. And this is just incredibly ridiculous. Come back later, come back later. This game is so locked into a obscure path of thinking that you just can't do things. And you see this in most point-and-click adventure games, that there is a line of logic you have to follow, but there's usually underlying logic and it makes sense. Like, here it just says come back later. Like as if this game wasn't even halfway finished and those were lines of dialogue that they were putting in just for testing purposes and no other reason. The grate is locked. Can we use the knife on it and unlock it? Apparently not. Let's just make sure this doesn't do something. So we want to get into the belfry, I imagine, to the altar. So there's a rear part and an altar part, and the way this is all connected doesn't really work well at all. It makes the camera swing in the wrong ways.
Father,
Do I have anything new to say to him? I guess I
Yes,
do.
my son.
can I disturb you for a moment? Father, I would like to ask you for a favor. I'm interested in having a look around the old belfry.
But my son, the belfry is closed to the public. Why do you want to go there?
I'm afraid I can't explain it at the moment, but it is very important. Believe me.
All right then. I will make an exception then, but just for this once.
Thank you.
Follow me, please.
There's something interesting about the Christian religion and the English language, and I assume it's also the same in most other languages too. The fact that you have words
Go to the church and serve others.
like
Of course, Father.
God,
Please
saint,
tell me when you are done. Thank you, Lord.
deity. You have words to
Of course.
explain
I'll have to
the
figure
Trinity and the Holy Spirit and all of these things. And then you also have just very familiar words, quite literally. So the priest, you would call him a priest, Monsignor maybe, but then you also call him normally just Father, when he's not really anybody's father. And you call God the Holy Father when he was really only the Father to Christ. It seems so odd that there's both familiar ways of explaining the scenario and unfamiliar ways and unique, important words for it. It doesn't have anything to do with this game at all, but this game is kind of boring, so I just wanted to mention that as I thought of it. My guess is
a picture of the Madonna.
there's reasons for it. It makes it easier to understand and believe in if you make it something familiar. If you're only using specific words for specific reasons, they would easily be forgotten in the sands of time.
Several old pictures and a dusty inventory are lying in the shadows. I can't see anything interesting there.
So you'd think maybe there was something down in this point, but no. And you would hope the game would not allow you to leave until you found something.
Eyes over time have looked through this grayish glass.
There's a large gate, which looks like a door to me.
Leads to the rear part of the graveyard.
And here we have an opening, and that's probably what we need.
Its shape resembles that of the stone object.
Oh, who would have guessed? So it's been quite the puzzle to get to this point. And it's an altar. Now what do you put on the altar?
This must be what William wrote about in his diary. I have to figure out how it works.
Okay, yeah. So, even though this cross was the one similar to the house in the Black Mirror Manor, this is not what they're asking. They're asking for a slide puzzle. And it's not even going to be very easy to do, is it? We have 2 extra spots. So, the red piece needs to get out of the way for a little while. And this is going to take a while because the way this puzzle's programmed and the way it interacts is gonna be trouble. We're gonna have to do some extra work. We'll have to take this down here and then take this. This is an exponential puzzle too, so it's there's a metal puzzle called Jacob's Ladder that has similar aspects. We have to go in the same cycle over and over again to move things, and that's what we're gonna have to accomplish. At least I think that's the case. And once you move something, you unclick it, which only, yet again, drastically increases the number of clicks necessary. I could be doing this wrong too. I could very possibly need to maintain the red piece in the middle, and that might be the one I need to move instead of the ones I am moving. No, I need to move this back here. This, I think, over here. No, this isn't solving anything, is it? I need to move the red piece. So move this here, and then this should let me dogpile all these white gems here. This game is not that old. I believe 2003 was when this was made, so it's not old enough to justify being this lacking in interaction and content, and to have an engine that is this much of a pain. I think I'm just gonna have to correct some things here later. Move all of the dark gems into the top slot where they should be, and then make a path to put all the white gems on the right spot where they should be. Is there a right click or a drag? No. Oh, there is a drag. Let's see. If you click it and then drag, you can drag, but only a little bit to one spot still, so slightly better, but not by much. Here we go. And maybe I need to put the white piece here, or maybe I need to put the red piece here. I think I need to get rid of this. And then do something like this. And see if I can move things around. Because I need more access to these two white pieces. Gotta go there, then there, then there, then there. Maybe what I have to do, since there are extra spots on the top and bottom, maybe I have to sacrifice some of this to achieve some of this. So take one of these, put it up here, and then take this and drag it all the way to the right, and it actually should work this way. This doesn't really make the most amount of sense until about 5 steps into it. It's a difficult enough puzzle that I could see people getting frustrated and quitting. Not video game players, but the grandfather character. Wait a minute, this is a white stone, right? It's just in shadow. That doesn't help at all if the game is depicting things in shadow. Alright. So now we've got it. This and this leaves this completely open to move here. The only problem we might run into is getting the red stone back in the middle. So now we can cycle this one all the way down with no problem. But we've got to cycle this one up, and then once again move this. So we are about 2 real steps away from having the white ones all in the right place, which then just asks a pretty big question. And the red one's in the wrong place. But what was the order for the black ones anyways? And we've never seen a puzzle that has needed to be reset or could be reset. So I imagine that's still very much the case. I guess it was probably a straight line. So how do we fix this? I think what we've got to do is get it to this point. And then get up here. Probably don't even need to get that far, but whatever. And then come up this way. And then move this up to this point. And I'm just hoping there will be enough room. And there should be just enough room for this. There we go. I'm assuming these sides were empty before. But even if they aren't, that will be easy to fix. The red one was right in the middle. And just 2 more moves.
The right combination at last.
Much better than the planet puzzle. No extra knowledge really needed. The edges were telling you what you needed to do. Definitely doable. Maybe it would be nice or helpful if the game... apparently there's something under the carpet now. It would be nice if the game, like, offered to skip or assist after a while, but I didn't take too long on that puzzle anyways.
The gate is locked from the other side.
And it seems like this large gate is just a red herring. We've seen a lot of those, and it's under the carpet. So anybody that solves the puzzle could easily just then die by falling through the floor.
The air in here is barely breathable.
We have a weird position that we're in now because
It's entirely decayed. Useless.
if we do go back in time, which is what I figured would happen,
Same as the one upstairs.
then it's going to be a pretty short experience. I don't have that item anymore. Unless it's been moved in my inventory. No. Let's see if we just try this with the opening. Just to see. No. Alright. So where are we on the screen? Pixel hunting? Really? Or do I have to go back upstairs and get it? Because this hasn't been a game where you just click somewhere and you walk. There's always been some red interaction point. So we'll come to the opening and take the piece out. It didn't retrieve the altar or anything. Perfect example there of the game wasting your time. Just making this a 15-hour game when it really should be 5, if not 3. Wow, and that was just a abrupt blink.
Damn, what was that?
No
Entrance has closed.
animation at all.
Open it somehow.
So read the old book. Probably get a ton of dialogue.
Pages are well preserved. I'll have a look.
Oh, okay, so is he gonna read it out loud or do we just read it ourselves? It can't be seen, but it can be heard. It will not open unless it's spoken to.
It can't be seen, but it can be heard. It will not speak unless it's spoken to.
An echo.
The more take away, the larger it grows.
A hole. These are not difficult puzzles.
Cities without houses, rivers without water, forests without trees.
That would be a map, which we already knew the solution to.
Black when hot, red when used, grey when thrown out.
You got me on that one.
When hot, red when used, grey when thrown out.
That one's a good one. That one's gonna prove to be a little bit more difficult.
I can't see anything over there. I'll stay in the light for a moment.
How many other things are there to click on?
Shall wisdom be your way? The Saint 4, the year of the Lord, 1243.
Alright, so I think we've already got everything, but and we already have the solution to 3 of the 4 riddles. That last riddle's a lot more difficult than the
The
others.
ceiling has collapsed here. The tomb is very old.
So we go to the stone block, and this should be echo. So E. It seems like just left clicking goes one way, maybe right clicking goes the other way. Yes. Okay. C H O.
It works. Shall wisdom be your way?
And that lowers the platform. And this one was whole. So H, right click, 1, 2, 3, right click. I've played enough video games in my life to know the answer to riddles like this. And frankly, this game is in no way child-friendly because it's way too slow and boring. So the riddles should be more difficult than that. Although, arguably I'm pretty good at riddles, I guess. And see, this is the one that they already knew the answer to. And yet somehow he didn't even put it in, or it reset itself. And this is just going to move us to the next room, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are very few rooms left, and we're just towards the end. If this was our maximum amount of items we were going to get, that would be fine. Let's see, you have a picture. Is it a pot? Or a kettle? Or something you would cook with? Black when bought, red when used, gray when thrown out. It probably doesn't even matter. The number of combinations are not even that many. SMLHC. Coal. Let's go with coal. That seems like something that matches the solution, while there could be multiple solutions to a riddle like that. That was it. And that was more difficult than the others. but only slightly.
The grave of Marcus Gordon himself.
And see, we were looking for like 4 keys, and unless this black sphere is a key and this is a key, we're still kind of missing 2 keys, so maybe we'll find one here. We are going through the game pretty well, so if the game had started with the grandfather being killed, and then we started in the church, and we did a little bit of work to get the piece to get us into this area, and then we did the puzzle on the altar. If it had only been 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours to get to this point, it'd be a fine Broken Sword-esque, Indiana Jones-esque story. But we are darn close to 8 hours into gameplay due to all of the dialogue that's just... I don't appreciate any of it at all, and the story is not that good to justify all of this actions. I don't care one bit if Morris is a thief. I don't care if the gardener was a drunkard. We were really only here for investigating the potential murder of our grandfather, and it's taken 8 hours to even get this close. And we're not even that close. And the Black Mirror makes no sense as a name. Almost as much no sense as me just typing in gibberish in all of these save slots. We can see we're in the 15th save slot, and there was 2 others, so there's been at the very least 8 hours of gameplay, because for the first 2 episodes of 30 minutes I didn't save at all, and every episode after that I have saved, so it's been at least 8, if not 9. Wow. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.